Welcome to the Mario era, chapter 82.
Ochentaitos de Mario! It's Mario! We're getting closer! Getting closer! Sweet Peaches tits! Hey!
Hey,
Let's go.
Peaches.
Yes.
Peach is letting them hang out.
Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Yeah, peaches for me.
That's
What's
right.
up, boys?
70, is it 60? I think there's 67 Peachtree streets in Atlanta. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I've got
Is that
lost
true?
on
That's
at
true.
least
That's
half
true,
of
right?
them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Everything's a Peachtree, Dunwoody, Peachtree, Corners, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
I don't think it's 60, maybe it's 30 something, but it's like
It's
an
asinine,
excessive
whatever
amount.
the number
It's
is.
excessive
It's
amount of
asinine.
peach trees.
so Scoopy,
Yeah.
we're gonna break that wall again, and say that we saw you wrestling with an armadillo.
I didn't wrestle with it.
Yes, you did.
No, that thing was scared. Poor damn thing.
Well, the three of you were chasing
It's just
it
two-
on
it's
a
just two of
golf
us.
course.
Actually, I don't know what Travis was doing. It was the two. Look,
You were chasing leprosy. You told us, we said, that's how you get leprosy. You said, there aren't going to be any armadillos on the
Wait.
golf course. And then you get on the golf course and multiple armadillos and you start chasing it.
Time out. What's the Jenners? Can you tell us how much into the show are we? Like how what's the actual time?
Oh, like 3 minutes. Barely.
It is a record because the show title is Chasing Leprosy. And that took 3 minutes.
That's got to be a new record.
Chasing Leprosy.
Also,
Look,
a
all
great,
right,
also a great
continue.
indie movie.
Yeah, it's like a good band name too.
sure. You can wear makeup. You can like your face is falling off. Look, there was an armadillo early in the round on Saturday after Friday afternoon, and I didn't have my phone. And Brian was pissed because I didn't have my phone because he was happy that he and Travis made it on the show. Like, did you hear this? Shit, we made it on the show this week. Yeah, it's about leprosy, right? So we're talking about the thing, and then he's like, "Oh, there's an armadillo. You got your phone?" I was like, "No." So I don't know. 2 hours later, he's like, Hannah, go get your phone. There's another armadillo, and that's the most tequila, and we've talked about this. I only drink tequila straight. That's the most tequila I've had in a sun up to sundown period in the history of my life.
How much?
It was a lot.
Well,
I mean,
you
I
gotta
had-
know how much. Like
Well,
half
I mean,
a
it's-
bottle, half a handle. What are we looking at?
No, it was like a 0.75. It was the smaller version of the tequila. It was the Patron. It was this one.
This one.
Oh, but Patron, so it was a wide bottle. All right,
It
wide
was
bottle.
this one.
Yeah, this one.
So I was like, that's not very
Yeah.
tall for all
No,
day.
no. It's the 0.75.
God, you are a tiny light. Well, you wear the Lululemons. I
It's
mean,
an
that doesn't.
entire
you
bottle
can't
of
take
straight
in-
tequila
Yeah, you can't take
in
all that
95
alcohol.
degree heat. I'm just telling you, I that's all I drank. Anyway, so yeah, we were chasing some armadillos. We thought it was fun at that particular point in time. Nothing has fallen off. Nothing has melted as of yet.
Yeah, there you go. We should
Chasing
actually put the
armadillos.
video with the Benny Hill theme.
Chasing Leprosy.
So here's the thing. Funny story. It's in a city in the middle of the state called Howie in the Hills. It's true. It's about 45 minutes outside of Orlando. Howie in the Hills. Look it up. Apparently, there was one guy in the town many years ago. Guess his name?
Howie.
Howie. And it's a very hilly place. It's probably the hilliest place I've been in Florida.
Oh
not a
yeah, I've
joke.
seen
It's
that.
not a joke.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen
It was
that name
Mission
before.
Inn, El Campeon, fantastic course, like such great elevation changes. But yeah, there's some armadillos, and I'm okay. I think.
So far.
I think.
We
Look
need
it
to
up.
look
How
up
long
the
does it take
incubation. Yeah, the incubation period for leprosy.
Right. What's the half-life on
after
this
you
shit?
Benny Hilled an armadillo? That's
He
fantastic.
wasn't within 20 feet of us. Come on.
You look closer on the film.
Closer than that. Uh-huh.
Brian was closer than I
Oh.
was. I was zooming in.
Exactly.
I was
And then
smart.
Brian
I was
and
the
then,
smart
and,
one.
and then Brian and you shared tequila. So
No, he wouldn't drink it. Pussy.
This is going to be fun. This is going to make this even more fun. The incubation period for leprosy ranges from 9 months to 20 years with an average of 4 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
So door is wide open, bro.
Wide open.
All right.
Wide open.
We know how the Orange Bowl boys is going to end.
Oh my God.
Damn, Scoop's jaw fell off. Oh, looks like the show's over. All right.
Danner's can fill in. We'll be
Oh
fine.
God. Oh, it's beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay. Glad you had fun.
Yeah.
We should head on down to Greentree because we had some sources of practice. We got things to talk about. Go! So welcome to the fall training camp practice number 8 pregame show. Practice will be going down this evening from 4 to 6:15 p.m. So first things first, guys, before we get into the notes that we got on the offense and the defense, I wanted to start with something that Roe had tweeted out earlier in the week. How many of these practices so far have been in the facility?
I mean, I got auto corrected on it because apparently they do their stretching earlier in the IPF, and then they have been taking it outside. But
They have been. Okay.
yes, so before we get too deep into the deep end on that one, I just had concerns because you just remember the Dolphin troubles as soon as they built that bubble, in Davie. It just seems like, they kind of lost their competitive edge, and a lot of people blame that bubble. So it was a little bit of a Miami Dolphin like kind of flashback, not a good one.
Gotcha.
So I was like, it's hot. Because that's the thing. Listen, it is unprecedented heat right now in South Florida. It could choke a donkey. You go out and check the mail, you got to take a shower immediately after, and that's from coming from the shower. And I'm just a little, listen, you can't stop games. They're not going to stop a Miami Hurricane game in September and October because of the heat index. They just won't. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and you'd like it to be as much of an advantage as it can.
Yeah.
And we have a heavy early home schedule. So those are going to be the hottest games we play all year. You'd like to think that that will play an advantage come the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Especially when we join the Big Ten, because that's what we want. We want those early W's. So then when we go freeze our balls off in Happy Valley, we can't score more than 6 points.
First game.
Wait.
Prep. What?
We'll score more than 6 points against Happy Valley.
Will. Yeah.
Manny Diaz is their
Manny's
defensive
there.
coordinator.
Yeah.
So. All right, go ahead, Scoopy.
Yesterday, which was Thursday.
Right.
Yesterday, which is Wednesday. I know full practice, first full practice in pads outside.
Beautiful.
I was told it was absolutely disgusting.
It was morning. Yeah. It was the 9:15 to 11 or 9 to 11:15 session. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hottest I've ever
4
been.
to 6:15. It'll be deathly out there. Yeah.
It's crazy. I've never experienced it like that down here. Anyway. So tons of news, and you guys are probably paying attention. You're seeing some stuff around. We can go into detail on. We haven't gone too deep into specifics as of yet. I think we were kind of just let it open up. They're in nothing. They're in shoes, right? And then they're in shells, and now they're in pads. So now you're going to start to see some guys solidify themselves. You're going to start to see some guys run with the ones.
Moving day.
More. Yeah, sure. It's like Saturday, right? So kids are going to stand out. And Mario mentioned two guys, and this is totally out of order. We'll do some defense and then we'll do some offense, but mentioned two guys, one on the defensive side of the ball, one on the offensive side of the ball. One of them being Ruben Bain, who he said is a monster. That was his acronym, not an acronym. That was his analogy of him. Monster. Okay. Is that good? Yeah, I think it's good. He says good. he's just on another level. And he said he plays very, very, very hard, throws his body around. So he gets a little dinged up. Came in at 260, is up to 285, came in benching 275. Now he's benching 400. I mean, that's a kid that's going to have, and Mario's told you that we're not breaking anything new here. He's going to have substantial playing time. And on the offensive side of the ball, Mario's talking Mark Fletcher, right? Who yesterday said absolute stud since he's been here. And he looks the part. He's bigger than pretty much everyone else in that room. His pass pro is exceptional, which, as we know, you can be a average or slightly above average runner. And if your pass protection is really good, you're going to play, right? Because offensive coordinators trust you and head coaches trust you. So those two guys as freshmen, you're going to see pop. And I think you're going to see pop right away. And we'll get into the different rooms and we can discuss them further. But that's the stuff you've heard. And everyone's hearing the same thing with those two guys.
All right. Well, then let's start with the defense.
OBB exclusive. Let's go. Sauces.
All right.
Sauces.
All right. So we're getting good reports on the defensive line. Quick, a little bit smaller, which might be a little bit concerning, especially when you realize that our old friend is not going to be able to play this year for FSU. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But apparently, Purdue transfer Kelly LT and Mestor are starting on the line. Ruben Bain, as Scoop alluded to, getting rave reviews. And I think that was just, man, I can't wait to watch him play. I really can't.
Are they undersized? Hold on. Hear me out, because this is the word association, right? Are they undersized? Because once I bring up the opposite end of the spectrum, the offensive line, what is the first words that come out of your mouth when you hear about this new and improved offensive line? They're behemoths. They're massive. They're huge.
You want to hear the word I was told today?
What?
They look like aliens.
Aliens. Okay. Behemoth aliens. They're massive. So, of course, the defensive line's going to look smaller in comparison. But you know what? I have high hopes for it when you said a little bit smaller of a defensive line. Yeah, I think LT is more of an undersized defensive tackle. When you've seen bigger ones, obviously, I think LT is that consummate guy. He can play in an even man front. He's a penetrating guy, kind of a one gap and go guy. That's not your odd front, tight front, 0 tech kind of defensive tackle guy. That's a guy that's getting after it. I'm okay with that because when Miami was special, that's what they were. They were always undersized at the defensive line. As long as they can penetrate and create havoc, I like havoc. So, but I still think they're probably undersized because I know the offensive line are aliens. So at least that's my opinion on the matter.
You have to be able to compare it, right? But I think in general, it's just saying, but you trade the undersize for quickness.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other kids that came in, a freshman, you still have Cyrus Moss, who's, as we know, is undersized, but he's a JT clone, right? I mean, he's him all over again. Does he have that ability? I don't know, but he's that body type. So you know that he's going to be working with him, on some special stuff. I mean, I just love it.
My spotlight next is the guys right behind those guys with their hands in the dirt, and that's the linebackers. What are we hearing, Scoopy?
So, well, Mario told you too, and he said they're going from probably the least deep room on the team to potentially being the deepest room on the team in one season, right? So you have one flip, and now all of a sudden, and it's because the freshmen that have come in are right on the heels of these dudes that have been here. So, Malagoa, again, practice yesterday, said that he's everywhere. He's so much better than.
Well, I think he's the guy. I mean, and you bring up the young kids chasing the guys that were here like Flag and stuff. But I think the fact that we brought in an actual stud ready to be a stud right now has been huge for that room.
Massive. Well, that goes back to the depth, right? So that one guy changes everything. Changes everything because you can move people around different positions, right? So if you had a guy at Mike that's, say, Flag's been moved somewhere else because he was the second best guy, not saying he is, I'm just saying you have the ability to move pieces. So Malagoa being that good, better than anyone really thought he was going to be. And then you have Contra Smith, who's there and experienced and very, very good. You still have Chase Smith, who's long, lanky, super freakish athletically. Then you have Flag, who has the experience, but you have these dudes behind him, and then Wesley too, right? So Wesley came on as the guy, the next guy, and then you got to look out for freshman by the name of Popo, right? Raul Aguirre. I mean, he's
headhunter.
I saw film. Rowan, I've actually seen film of him back in the day when he was a kid, right? Monster, and played against Fletcher a lot back in the day on some younger teams, some travel teams. And he's that guy, right? Popo's that guy. He's instinctual. Remember everyone said Flag, he's so good because he's so instinctive. He has these instincts that he gets the extra step and blah, 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 blah. Popo's that guy. But Popo, fast. And he's a thumper. Hits like a truck. So they asked Wesley and they asked Malagoa, who's flashing for you? They both said him. Wesley, I don't even think knew his name. He just called him Popo. I think he tried to say his name and had no idea what his name was. He says, that dude's Popo.
And all of that, too, because you're going to have sub packages in the way football works, especially against teams that are trying to front load you with like wide receivers. And the thing that excites me, if a Malagoa can come in there, secure the mic spot, he's rangy. He can go everywhere. Wes, he's got some range. And then remember, we haven't mentioned him in the linebacker kind of mix, but James Williams is going to come back down into the box as well. So immediately you got James, you got a Malagoa in the middle, and then you got like Chase. Pick your pick, I think you get faster in that second level. And that's what I always felt on tape watching the students of the game. Like Miami would get decimated in that middle level at times because they would isolate us. And I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that we went from what we did last year to this year because it's important. The defense is going to go, to me, the defense hasn't been what we expect, but we haven't had the linebacker play to match. So let's go. Corners. What are we hearing?
Well, I'll tell you that what I said when he came in, when we got the kid from Vandy, I said, watch, he could be the best cornerback on the roster right now. He played a lot last year in the SEC. His best game was against Florida. You guys made a crack. Oh, it was against AR-15 or whatever he wasn't, but he graded out great in that game. Like he's lanky. He is a cornerback. And I just think that we're lucky we got 3 years left with him. I'm excited. Apparently he is showing out right now.
You got the Brown brothers too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they definitely brought in some depth at this position too, which we knew we needed. We needed it at linebacker. We needed it at corner. Kudos to Mario. I mean, because, we watch it as fans, but slightly educated. Slightly, ever so slightly. But we can see, we have eyes, and we were like, oh, we need to get upgraded at certain positions. So if we can upgrade at those two, we know safety is pretty much going to be taken care of with a special dude in the back. But I'm happy to hear. Let's go.
I mean, listen,
Yeah,
you look at all everything on the defense. Everything on the defensive line. I mean, you're starting to see where, and obviously you don't want anything to happen, but if there is an injury here or there, it looks like you kind of have some cover for the first time in,
Yeah, because if you lost Tyreek last year, for the most part, you didn't sleep at night. You didn't sleep at night because at that point you're like, you're moving DJ Ivy to 1. It's like who's at 2? I
mean, if you had lost Tyreek like early, like imagine you lost Tyreek before the MTSU game. Imagine how bad that game would have been.
Hey, credit to DJ Ivy because apparently he's showing out. DJ Ivy's showing out with the Brown or Cincinnati. The Bengals had 2 interceptions. Of course, that happens. But good for him.
Look, the depth at corner is the depth and the competition at corner is much better than it has been in years. Right, you brought our boy in from Vandy. You brought Jaden Davis in from Oklahoma, who's probably going to end up being your number 1 nickel guy. Super fast, super smart, really smart kid, and super aggressive. So I think you got TC, who's also going to be moved into nickel quite a bit more, I think, than on the outside. I think the outside is being fought for by. The guy from Vandy, you got the Brown brothers, obviously the
DP2.
DP2, yeah. I mean, I've heard he's running 2s and 3s. I mean, look, I saw him at the spring game and looked good, to be honest with you. So that's the thing. If he can look good and he's running 2s or 3s and you've got the Browns in front. Now, the younger Brown, I'm not sure how much he's going to play, although I will say that yesterday, both the starting corners were the Brown brothers. So pretty cool. I mean, for them, first of all, that's really awesome, right? For them to transfer back from UCF, finally get a kid from Heritage. Holy shit. Light something on fire. It's amazing. And they get to play together, and that's fantastic. And then they're competing, right? So it's that depth is there. I will say this: I am scared to death. Bad, frightened. I'm frightened that if we have an injury at the safety position, I can't say that the depth is there for that.
And we talked about this. It was a blessing and a curse. We have another All-American. His name is in the rafters, but he scared everybody out. He scared everybody out of the building.
I know.
Like so many safeties just up and went like a fart in the wind. What say you, Fuzzy Britches? Like they just left.
I mean, he told them to get out.
He's like, if you don't want to play, get out. And they got out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've felt this way too. I mean, the one injury we can't afford just no way is Cam. We have to keep Cam healthy at all costs. I mean, it's an All-American. You can't lose your All-American.
No, you cannot. No, 100%.
So then it goes back to the D-line, and I am really, really excited they're going to wreak havoc and give our secondary a little bit more time. So, I mean, I think that front seven is going to bail out the secondary some. We haven't seen that in a while. Right? We've had depth issues, but we've had front seven issues as well that has really exposed the defensive secondary.
Akeem Messidor is still so damn good.
Think about it. Kelly is now going to start. Who everyone says he's an elite. What did he call him? Not an animal. What did Mario call him last year? Just a specimen, right? Super ridiculous bend, really long, fast, does stuff that you can't teach athletically. And then you have Messidor, and then you have the dude from Purdue, and then you have LT, and
which
stuff that I've seen on LT. People say if he came out this year, there's a chance that he's a really high pick. So, I mean, I don't want that to happen, obviously, but I mean, he might.
So if you turn around and you put, let's say, LT at the 3, okay, I'm talking about positions of that. And then on that strong side as well, doesn't have to be odd or even front, but on that strong side as well, you put Akeem Messidor. I mean, you got those two guys on the same side of the line. Those are two guys that make residence in the backfield. And they are so adept at getting there. They're both penetrating guys. I want to see those guys because we didn't see it enough last year. We didn't see LT and Messidor in the field together in tandem enough. LT's reps were inexplicably cut when they didn't need to be. So, and I agree. Nigelique's a freak. Oh, that rhymes. Nigelique's a freak. Man, there you go.
Nigelique's a freak. Hold on, I'm looking to see something.
Yeah.
All right. And then we'll break on out to the offense. Because I'm hearing some things
break
too.
On through the other side. But this is what I wanted to look up. Jared Harrison Hunt. JHH still on the team.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot about him.
He's solid.
We forgot. He's hold on, let me tell you what year he is. He's a 4th year redshirt sophomore.
There you go. Love COVID.
Right.
COVID and got hurt.
I want to flip over to the offense because you're talking about the defensive line. And I saw some video of the starting 5 on the offensive line.
Yeah.
All right. What I would like to do is I would like to get all 5 of those guys on the scale. And then I want to start weighing off the defensive line and see how many offensive linemen equal defense. Because I think they might weigh as much as the whole front 7. They're monsters, bro. They're all basically like 6'3" to 6'5" to 6'6", 350. It's insane. They're monsters.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through this with you because I was looking at it today when I was having a conversation with somebody and almost couldn't believe it. Right. So let's start. Zion Nelson, 6'5", 316. Francis Mauagoa, 6'6", 315.
It might
Tommy
be one of the best players on the team already.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Kinsler. Remember that recruiting battle with Florida? Had no idea. He was 6'6", 340.
Yes.
He's a freshman. Sampson, 6'6", 300. Jalen Rivers, fourth-year redshirt sophomore, again, 6'5", 325. Hold on, there's more. Inez Cooper, 6'6", 350. Frankie Tinalau, freshman, 6'6", 325. And that kind of rounds it out. But are you kidding?
It's insane.
Are you kidding?
Remember what the joke was? Miami had more guards than Shawshank, but like we meant like our offensive line. It wasn't just the Miami Heat. It was the Miami Hurricanes. But we were supplanting guards over there at tackle. But we got bigger.
You know why Matt Lee came here? He stands with those guys. He's a skinny guy. He's skinny pictures.
Yeah.
Right.
He wears skinny
What's
jeans.
his number? I didn't even mention him. What's his
Lulu's.
number?
I know he can't be like 330.
6'4", 295. 6'4",
All right, there you go.
295.
So he's a one guy sub 300. He's the
But
skinny guy on the team.
if you look at the older linemen,
But the center is small.
Javion Cohen, 6'4", 305. He's the smallest guy on the line. Well, he and whatever. But if you look at the guys they're replacing, right? 6'3", 300, 6'2", 275, 6'2", 6'4". Just small. They're smaller. You see, you see the difference. Yeah. And then there's the really big dude, Chris Washington, who's a third-year redshirt freshman, who's 6'7", who I actually heard some very good things about today.
So the good thing about that, now you got the offensive line. What's right behind the offensive line? The quarterbacks. So, all right, quarterback hat on. Remember that talk about, that kid Jacurri, even though it's spelled like Jacurri. We try to tell y'all it's Jacurri. That guy should be moved to wide. You are such an idiot. You are such an idiot. Because, yes, hearing that kid is balling out. I mean, at first, yeah, a little slow. Now, in this system, he's killing it. Kid's a consummate worker. We've said it for years now. They feel like he's one of the best athletes on the team.
Yeah.
Okay? So he's doing it. Emory, he's balling out too. Suddenly, I feel much better about the quarterback depth on this team. And Tyler, we know what Tyler's capable of, but I just want to take a second and talk about the depth because that's what's coming out of camp right now. Jacurri's going to fit the bill. Looks like potential heir apparent. Emory's not going to make it easy. He's a savage and a stud too. And then you got Tyler. So pushing each other. We'll see.
Look,
because
you saw it at the spring game.
You did. Right? Emory looked the part.
He did.
Emory looked the part. Jacurri was a little shaky in that game. Let's just be honest. But we always knew, regardless of who, we know who's going to start. But regardless, Jacurri's going to have some sub packages. You need to. You have to. It's just smart football. You want other teams to prepare for what Jacurri brings on the table, which is a little bit different than what everybody else brings on the table, right? Josh Gaddis and his infinite stupidity, right? He was smart. Nah, whatever. Keep that in. Keep that in. That's just me being me. And his infinite stupidity, he was smart enough to realize Jacurri needed some packages, right? Packages. He needed some packages. So I have a feeling you're still going to see him, especially in the red zone, along the goal line, using his ability to run the ball too. It's just a smart move. They do it in the NFL too. It's not a knock on Tyler. It's not a slight at all. But you got somebody with a different skill set that defensive coordinators prepare for. So, boys, I'm here to tell you, feel a little bit better about that quarterback room.
Yeah,
much better than when camp started.
No, totally. And I think I told you guys this. After the spring game, I was down chatting with some guys and saw Jacurri, chat with him for a little bit, and I hadn't seen him in a little while. And remember the first time we saw him when he showed up to the event, and we were like, "Damn, this kid's tall, like had no idea he was that tall.
Him and Skinner.
Yeah. And Cyrus. I mean, Cyrus has the hair, but he's
Right.
still tall. I saw him at the spring game and was like, holy bleep. Like, that dude is a monster. Like, so, yeah, he's an athletic freak. So he is one of the best athletes on the team for that many, 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 many times. And now he's getting comfortable in a system that fits him.
Yes.
His accuracy is much better. His deep ball is much better. He's confident. Look, you need that. You need that depth in that room in particular. We saw it last year. Tyler got hurt. It sucked. He got hurt, and there was nobody ready to take over for him. As much as you guys wanted there to be, there wasn't. And we were in dog shit sled from then on out.
One thing about Tyler that he did praise his wide receivers. It was nice to hear. He's like, it was the strongest group. It's the strongest group since, I think he wanted to say, since I've been here. And I'm kind of paraphrasing him, but he's happy about that wide receiver room. And that's something we needed to correct, right? We needed to correct. We know Colby. He's going to be a dude out there. You got Ray, special freshman. You know what X does. They have like just superb chemistry between those two. I think George, silky smooth. That dude's going to factor a little bit. Got some ballers. Got some guys that are
Tyler
fast.
Harrell now from Bama.
And Tyler's your guy that, you don't have to target him much, but once he's on the field, go route. Stick to the high
Everybody
numbers
knows
in the
he's
route
there.
tree. Yeah, stick to
Everybody knows
the
he's
high numbers. Give me a 7, give me an 8, give me a 9, bro.
Yeah.
You live in the higher echelon of the route tree. Give me those numbers. Stretch the field, blow the top, make things easy, right? For everybody else underneath.
He had a 60-yard touchdown yesterday from Jacurri.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bang.
So, yeah, I mean, that room is gonna. We needed those two guys, right? We needed Harrell and the other JUCO. We needed them. We needed them for depth, and hopefully they play. I mean,
I think
because you brought him in because what's that?
I think Jacolby's going to have a really good year. I think he's going to solidify himself as number 2 behind Colby. I really, do.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think if it started tomorrow, the season started tomorrow, you would. I mean, you know who it is, right? It's Colby, Jacurri, and then X on the inside. But you cannot and will not be able to ignore Ray.
Oh God, no.
And his special abilities. Like I was told that you watch everybody do everything and guys are really, really crisp and really, really good. And then you see Ray do the same thing and it's just different. It's just different. You're looking at him and it's different. And he's a smart kid, straight A student, hardest worker in the room. And we've said X has been the hardest worker for years now. I think Mario said yesterday, whatever it was, that Ray's the hardest worker in the room. And that's tough to do. It's tough to beat out X because we know how his dedication reigns. But Ray always be on the jugs, always be watching film. You need that. We haven't that dude's been on campus for 6 days. More than that, he played in the spring, but you know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of stuff you need. You forget that leadership from freshmen. I will also say somebody told me they were watching guys out there making plays. They didn't know who they were. Who's that? Who's that? He's a freshman. Who's that? He's a freshman. Who's that? He's a freshman. That's a good sign.
Well, listen. If Manny was still here, it would be great. Looking forward to seeing all those guys in 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they would hit the train.
October of 2027.
They wouldn't be seeing the field for us. That's for damn sure. Too young to play. Too young.
Oh my, that was so
you got no
tragic.
experience. Too young. True freshman can't play.
Tight ends, I think we're going to be fine. I think Arroyo coming back really helps. Remember, he was going to be that dude too, alongside Will Mallory. Unfortunately, he got injured. I think we're going to be good there. Jaleel, if I was the offensive coordinator, you know what I'm going to do, especially with certain packages. I'm going to flex that dude out. He's a monster. He's a monster. He could come in line and block too. You could put him kind of flex around, H-back kind of a role too.
He's more of a chippy guy, but
Yeah, he's a chip guy, but multiplicative like Swiss Army knife, man. I like it. I like it a lot. I like what he's able to, and he's got length, man. And that's the thing too. Inside the red zone, it's not even hard. I mean, if you're having trouble, just jump ball it. Put in Jaleel. Put in Arroyo. Colby. Just have like the jump package, just like the Harlem Globetrotter package. Just guys, we're gonna just fly a Phi Slamma Jamma. This is all the references you need. Let's just go up and play, man.
You're
Let's
not
just go
allowed
above the
on
rim.
the field if you're under 6'5".
Listen,
Anyone. There's no running back in that package.
If it's first and goal and you're calling a pass play, those three better be on the goddamn field. All three of them.
I'll take all three of them in Ray Ray.
Yeah, sure.
So then there's one more group we really haven't touched on, and Scoopy, what's up with the RBs, man?
Deep. I had seen.
Well.
No, hold on. What?
Well, I'm just saying you say deep and that's fine, but every year 4 get hurt.
I get it. They're deep right now. Right this minute, they're deep. I did see somebody. There were people, worried about Chaney and him being hurt again, and it's nothing. I think his knee's just banged up. Right. I mean, he got hit again on the knee with a helmet. I mean, he was out there yesterday. And he is, as I have said, I know I've said it, I know I've touted it. He is far and away. He's a special running back. But he's got to be healthy. That is, if we can get a season of him being healthy, he's an exceptional talent. Like, he's another level type of talent. So then you've got a Jay from, or is it a Jai? Is it a Jay from Nebraska?
Mm-hmm.
Really talented kid, probably really best suited in spread packages, super quick feet, very tough to cover in the open field. Very good hands, very good route runner and pass catcher. So I think that that's a type of guy that you use in those types of situations, along with Parrish. I think
depth.
Parrish,
Parrish's depth
should be. Look, here's. We don't bang on kids. We don't pick on kids. The reality is if he's your best back on the team, the depth probably isn't very good. And it was great. He was
our best running back last year. He was our best
running back last year.
He was absolutely our best running back. Yes.
Yeah. Had a very good year. But if you want to be at that elite level, he needs to provide depth. But he can also be, in this system, he can be much more package based, very much like a Jai. I think they're very, very similar ball players. And then you have Mark Fletcher, who, as Mario says, absolute stud, the biggest dude in the room. Looks like he's a man-child. Just got on campus. He wasn't here in the spring. Just showed up. Exceptional. Very good pass pro, right? Understands the systems, understands where he needs to be when he needs to be there to be able to help. We saw last year running backs running all over the place, had no idea how to help anything coming in for the defensive side of the ball. Either they were taught that, or you're just allowing it to happen. Right? I can think of the goal line nonsense that I dealt with. Oh my God. So you think back to that. So he should be your RB2. I think by at least the second or third game of the season, I think you're going to see Fletcher a lot. And it's because it's not that he's not a really good running back. He's a very good runner of the football. He's a very good pass catcher. The fact that he knows where to be and when to be there in pass protection kicks you up a notch right up to the top.
And before we wrap this up,
tons.
Something just to kind of tie up a loose end from last year, running backs being able to pass protect is huge. We've talked about this, especially young guys. They're going to have to be able to do that, because if you can't keep your quarterback upright, which was our key of the year, keeping Tyler upright, it's not going to happen. But again, system. If you're spreading it out a little bit more, you're not in those condensed sets. The running backs have an easier job too, because They have a lot easier job to identify. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, you got a little. The puppy is here.
Oh boy.
Oh, the head keeps getting blacked out. The green screen. All right. So listen. So the other thing is with the running backs, unlike years past, if there is an issue with injuries, if everything goes according to plan, there will be a decent midseason reinforcement coming in, hopefully in Citizen. So I know that he's thinking that he's going to be able to see the field this year, second half of the season. So hopefully that comes to fruition as well. That is just a damn cute dog, Scoot.
It's fluffy.
What's the name?
Her name's Lola.
You call her Snowball.
Hello.
Lola. Lola. Hey, look at the camera. Look at the camera, Lola.
Manhandle her like she's a dog.
I know, you're just like exactly. It's a living creature, bro.
She's gonna rise up against you like Rick and Morty's dog.
You're giving her leprosy right now.
She's 4 pounds. She's tiny.
She's 4 pounds. Look at her. She looks
Yeah.
She looks petrified.
I know. She looks like the leper's holding me. The leper's holding me.
She looks like a quarterback in Josh Gaddis's offense.
She keeps disappearing with the green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We got to talk about.
Sorry, she was brought out. She had to be introduced.
She had to make her debut. Listen,
Boost the ratings. I'm told.
Frank the cat crapped when he was on.
That's
your
true.
dog didn't do that, so that's
true.
A plus. All right,
Still trying to get Piper to like her. See how well that goes.
We got to talk about conference realignment because all freaking hell broke loose. So the Pac-12, as I told you, it's not dead officially. You got 4 teams left, the 4 teams that no one literally cared about. So now, Ro, before we came on, you said that there was this McMurphy tweet about potential the ACC. What's going on here?
So Brett McMurphy comes out and says it's Notre Dame of all people pushing ACC. Remember, not a full-fledged member. They're a full-fledged member in terms of all sports except football. But they are the ones pushing for Stanford and Cal. And then while SMU would also join the revenue, but not have revenue in the first 5 to 7 years in the ACC, sources told Action News HQ. Notre Dame continues to push yet won't join as a full-time member, a source said. That makes no sense to us. Doesn't make sense to us either. So Cal and Stanford, but what doesn't make sense is the ACC stands for the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Atlantic Coast. Those guys aren't even close to the Atlantic Coast.
Yeah, you got to get that out of your head. You got to get that out of your head, dude. The geographic thing, conferences is now, it's over. It's been blown out of the water. The Big Ten blew that out of the water. So now it's about survival. So if you're going to survive, you need to expand the ACC somehow. Well, there's limited options. I mean, you're not going to go for other, and there's no one else on the Atlantic coast, as you would say. You're not getting Rutgers. You're not going after UConn. You're not getting Boston. You already have Boston College. Yeah, fuck Boston College.
Can you rename it?
What? Of course you can rename the
Well,
conference.
you can use the same acronym. Just think of something else.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, the
Athletic
Champions
Coastal
Conference. Champions. You got to have one of the C's. Got to be
Athletic
champions.
Champions Conference.
Atlantic Coast, small little and California. There you go.
ACCC.
A, C, and C.
Instead of ACDC,
Atlantic Coast and California Conference.
ACCC, not the
There you
ACDC.
go.
I was born on a Russia.
So let's just think about this, though. All right, so let's just think about so now we got, golf and volleyball are traveling across the country twice a year to take on, and those guys have got to come east like 7 times a year. I don't know how that works financially. And
So-
is the ACC, they're going to renegotiate their TV deal and get more money? Where's the share coming from? And SMU's coming for free? Wait, what?
Well, what else are they going to do? I think that you're
Get
pulling
paid in
in
the Big 12?
I think you're pulling in teams that don't necessarily have better options.
Which is true.
Right.
Well-
and I saw something very interesting. I think it was Chip Kelly who pointed out Notre Dame, right? After, you have the guy from Missouri talking about how you're having these teams travel across the country, us. So, and then you had Lane Kiffin backing him up. And then Chip Kelly says, look, man, like football's different. We play on Saturdays. We can travel, right? You've got these teams. You've got baseball. You've got soccer, you've got softball. They play 2-3 times a week sometimes. Like you can't have them gone. He said, why don't we just do 2 conferences, right? You have a Power 5 or all-in-one conference. You have the next 50 all-in-one conference. Each conference has national championship, and you have 2 division winners. So he's like, Notre Dame's not in a conference with their football, but everybody else is in their just little, you can do that. So why not just take football out and have a big conference? They can do their thing because it's a different sport. You can play it differently. You can schedule things differently. You can fly around differently, and have everyone else just stay in the conference that they're in. I think it's a pretty smart idea. It'll never happen, but it's a good outside the box thought.
I'm not against that
because it's a mess. It's gross for the smaller sports.
I keep saying it. Well, the SEC and the Big Ten were on this expansion plan, and I told you it's Major League Baseball. It is exactly Major League Baseball. There's going to be an American League and a National League. That's it. 2 leagues. That's all anybody's going to care about. Those 2 leagues. That is it. ACC. My goodness. I mean, think about that. The teams that Notre Dame won, and I find that hysterical. Notre Dame, you don't really have the leverage here. Football is king. When you're not in here, football, you don't really have the right to tell the ACCCC that what we're going to do. But the teams that we're Cal and Stanford, that's like SEC turns around against Oklahoma and Texas. The Big Ten turns around against USC and UCLA. At least they're like a package deal. Okay, that's cool. And there's some good matchups with Stanford in there over the years too. I get it. But then we're stuck with Stanford and Cal. Yeah, okay. Gross.
Listen, the reality is that Brett Yormark of the Big 12 has run circles around his contemporaries at the ACC and the Pac-12, and now he's in 3rd place. Mm-hmm. ACC was left snoozing. ACC should have signed UCF. Let's be honest about it. Absolutely. If you needed to grab schools, that's when you should have grabbed. Probably should have made a play to maybe get Rutgers to come back only so you had the New York market back again. Then maybe you can renegotiate your deal somehow. I'm just saying the ACC's been sitting there with their feet flat doing nothing, and now their options are Cal and Stanford. Yes. Because with all due respect, those were the only options.
Yeah, and Toast
and SMU, there's no great options out there to come into the Atlantic Coast Conference right now. So
in the massive game of musical chairs, the Big 12 was just strategic, right?
They were great. They were aggressive, and it paid off.
They were aggressive, but they were smart about it because they knew that the 2 gorillas in the room, right? The SEC and the Big Ten, they were fighting over these 2 chairs, the top 1-2 chairs, and everybody else was just minding their business, going in circles. But the Big 12 was like, I see where chair number 3 is. I'm just going to make sure I'm going to sit my ass right here because when the music stops, I'm going to be right here. And this isn't attractive. This is about as good as I'm going to be able to get. I'm not going to jump those 2, but as long as I'm here, they'll implode, and I'll be right where I need to be. And they played it perfectly. The ACC, I think the thing that bit their ass was too much ego. They didn't think we're fine. We got this grant of rights. What do we care? We got Clemson and Florida State. Aha. Shut the fuck up, Florida State. You guys have been terrible. For years, you were 5-7 university for 3 or 4 years. Now you're hot shit because you had 1 10-year season. And it's, what we say goes. Shut up. They're so annoying. Oh my God, they piss me off. Listen, Clemson is the poster child until proven otherwise. It's not Miami. It's not you. You haven't done dick. You haven't won anything. You haven't won a conference. Yeah, we haven't won the ACC ever. You haven't won it in like a decade. Shut the hell up. Go in the back of the line with everybody else.
I have a serious question. I have a serious question regarding them. Because every pundit, every talking head, everybody has got them top 5, top 10 worst at worst.
Yep. Somebody above, they have them above Bama right now. There's a couple people above Bama.
Correct. Yep. So
I can't wait.
Am I just being a homer or someone who just can't stand them by saying that I don't understand? I don't get it, and I can't wait until everyone looks like a complete fool.
They lost to Jacksonville State. 2 years ago. That's true. As bad as we were, Middle Tennessee State, that was still a Division I program. And just look at the back end of their record. They beat nobody good. Nobody at all. I don't get a scoop. They're not going to prove us wrong.
They
are
won LSU
fraud.
by a fingertip on the blocked field goal or whatever it was.
And LSU was terrible in the beginning of the year.
Everything. Dude, remember how I said our season last year was just a snowball that just went out of control? They got every break they could get last year.
Mm-hmm. The game with us is going to be tighter than last year, right? That's easy to say.
Well, it can't be worse, bro. We lost by 50.
But here's the point.
Jesus Christ.
We had the worst statistical offensive coordinator in the history of our program. Program. And that guy, I mean, he was decent. I didn't hate him as much, Kevin Steele, but we had the worst offensive coordinator in the program. Of course, that's going to factor. You did what you were supposed to, and we lost our quarterback within the first 5 minutes. Hats off. Right. Congratulations.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I don't see it.
I just don't
see it. And I wanted to know if it was because I just don't like them or because I'm looking at what they did and what you guys brought up last year. And I just don't understand how they see it going that well. Okay. All right.
Listen, the only thing I can tell you from advice, Florida State fans coming from Miami fans, because we're always a little bit further down the rabbit hole than you, right? We thought we were the shit too after our 10-win season. Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work out so well.
No, it did not. A lot of other people thought we were the shit too, but okay. Yeah. Did not. They got a pretty good preseason ranking.
I got to look at their schedule. Now I'm all, I don't know why I'm talking about these idiots, but
yeah, let's screw those idiots.
You got them.
I'm just
curious.
Wound
up now.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked at their record. It's not overly difficult. They have that LSU matchup again. They got Clemson. They got us. Of course, they got to play Florida. They just got to play their division. Their division's down, but they don't really have anything crazy out of conference. LSU's their crazy out of conference game.
LSU to open the season.
Yeah. And then here's the thing. I think people forget this too. What Clemson did by getting Garrett Riley was a boss move. It was a boss move. Garrett Riley's the shit. Okay.
God, Clemson hired Garrett Riley.
Yeah.
So,
and they got Klubnik or whatever, the quarterback. It's going to be insane.
So that is not
that's not good. I totally forgot that.
I didn't.
Oh my God.
That was a boss move. That was somebody who realized, yes, we can't just rest on our. You know what that move was? That was the anti-Randy Shannon move. When Patrick Nix went up to Randy Shannon and said, hey, I think we should go up to an up-tempo spread. And he said, no, we're a pro team in Miami. Okay, great. This is the opposite. They didn't rest on their laurels. They realized that their offense wasn't getting it done, so they wanted to go make a change, and they got Garrett Riley. Hell yeah, that was boss. I wanted Garrett Riley in the worst way.
So I think they are looking at the schedule when they're coming up with this because their schedule's not hard.
It's going to lose their opener.
Totally.
LSU preseason like number 5?
Yeah. No, it's like a top 5 matchup.
Yeah.
Right. But
and I'm going with Brian Kelly in that matchup.
Yeah. Then they've got Southern Miss, Boston College, and they have Clemson. Okay. Hardest game of the year.
So they might be 2-2. We're hoping for 2-2 out of the first 4 games out of the
Then they got Vatek, Syracuse, Duke, Wake, Pitt.
Wake always plays them tough.
Pitt.
They'll lose one of those 5. They'll lose one of the 5, and then we'll see what Florida does at the end of the year. I think they're not gonna lose more than 4 games. They could be 8-4. They could be 8-4, which is not a bad floor. But they're not where they don't deserve to be where they're being ranked currently.
I'm just curious.
They're not going to make the playoff?
No.
Because there's a lot of folks saying they're going to make the playoff.
Yeah.
All right.
How? Even if you lose to Clemson, let's say, and you ACC teams don't get love. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work that way. They're going to lose more than 1 game.
We'll see.
If they lose 2 games, they're 10-2. They're not going into the playoffs at 10-2.
They're not beating Clemson with Garrett Riley.
And remember, they got to beat them
Sorry.
twice. More than likely, they're going to have to beat them twice because the ACC, it's like the top two. It's not like it's whoever's the top
It's
two.
not
records.
right. Yeah, they changed.
So
that
they
nonsense.
would have to potentially beat them twice. Good luck.
Yeah, right.
All right, I got to talk about our friends. Ed Morse, Scoots and wearing the hat the entire episode.
Let's
Ed
go.
Morse Automotive Group, edmorse.com, Teddy Morse Harley Davidsons all across the country, Ed Morse Power Sports. I mean, give me a break. Whatever you need to be on surface, land, sea, whatever, Ed Morse Automotive has you covered. Go to edmorse.com and make sure you let them know the Orange Bowl boys sent you and take advantage of the price protection promise. Millions can't be wrong. edmorse.com.
My Ed Morse Jazz 185. You know, Hard Rock Stadium has a big hole in its roof.
It does.
If you have a hole in your roof, you know who you have to call? Scoop, who you got to call?
Hi, I'm Paul.
Give me a call.
Give me a call.
Hey.
They are passionate Miami Hurricane fans, and they're even more passionate about their business. You want to talk about the price protection guarantee? They're just going to tell you what the price is up front, and that's it. No, they are what they say that they are. Run a phenomenal business in South Florida for years and years and years and years and years. I need to call them too because I'm not lying. I have a little hole in my garage. I'm dead serious. So I got to make this call. I got so much going on right now.
Look,
too.
I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit on this, right? We all know what I do, and it's very difficult for me to recommend anyone because I just don't like recommending people because then it always looks bad on me if something goes wrong. That being said, one of my listings has a roof problem for the inspection report. It's got to get fixed.
Oh.
So tomorrow I'll be there for the appraisal, and an associate of Paul Bain will be over there to look at the roof and give me an estimate so my sellers can have an estimate compared to the one that he got. Right? Just like that. Boom. So, look, if I trust them enough, I'm being dead honest when I say this. If I trust them enough to come out and be a part of my business that I do on a daily basis, you got to trust them. I'm telling you. Fantastic. The operation blew my mind.
All right. So promo code OBB gets you 20% off Manscaped and everything. They're also doing their summer sale. So they're doing 20% off everything on top of that. So yeah, you can go start. Remember when we start doing the stacking stuff?
Remember that?
Like a year ago. It's stack time, everybody. Go to manscaped.com, whether you're getting the lawnmower, the performance package 4.0, the preserver, the reviver, the magic mat, the weed whacker 2.0, whatever you need. And they put you on a rotation where you're getting these boxes like every month, every 2 months. Promo code OBB, 20% off. Stack that with the normal 20% off for the summer sale. Boom, 40% off. Let's
whack
go.
those weeds.
It's back to school time. Like all you college kids and stuff like that. You get new shoes, you get this, you get new haircuts. Shave your balls. Let's go. Simple.
All right, look, it's busy week one at college.
Yeah.
At least look the part, would you?
Yeah.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Did you see the news today?
I don't watch the news. What happened?
Beating the book he put out about his sources.
Oh, I did see that.
Be up sometime between August 22nd and September 1st. So that will be, you're able to bet on the Canes game. It looks like the Miami, Ohio game. First game of the season.
The Battle of Miami. Who gets the naming rights? Here we go.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Is it Miami? What did you say off air?
On the line.
What did you say off air? Toledo or Akron or?
It's all the same. I don't know. Yeah, we're playing the University of Toledo, Akron,
Ohio University,
Miami, Ohio.
They're all the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Redbirds.
Right.
One's the Zips, I
Red
think.
Hawks?
Are they the Akron
Yeah.
Zips?
Zips, yeah, the Zips.
Toledo Mud Hens, right?
No,
Make it
Red
big.
Hawks. I think
I
they're
don't
Red
know.
Hawks. They're all the
Who
wood
knows?
chips. All the wood chips. All the wood chips.
It's Ohio.
Yeah.
Can't
I
lose
gotta,
to anything in Ohio.
I think I got to go to Ohio this year.
I already been.
Yeah.
Beautiful
well,
state.
my first time I would ever have to go to Ohio. I got to see if I.
You know that my whole family was from Ohio.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, We got some audio, man. We got some stuff that happened in the world of sports that we got to get to. Because this goddamn episode is going to be for friggin' ever. Holy Christ.
It could be a
Good thing we
two-part.
have a producer.
Yeah,
We-
I know.
we
God,
can
get some
two-part.
extra content throughout the week.
I thought we were doing that anyway.
We got to make up
Right?
for all the stupid stuff I had to cut out. So I mean,
Exactly.
come on.
Yeah. We learned. For those of you unaware, we learned a lesson. Scoop taught us something tonight in this episode that apparently I had no idea. You're allowed to say, "Hey, cut that out. I don't want to sound stupid." I could have been, but then you never hear me.
Yeah.
But all right,
And the producer will
What do you wanna
absolutely
start with?
not save it.
right. Which audio should we start with? We got the audio, the play-by-play audio of Tim Anderson getting Nate
Yes.
Robinson
Yes.
at second base.
Yes.
Okay, let's start.
Yes.
Let's start with that.
Start there.
All right, this is Tom Hamilton from the Cleveland Guardians radio network on the call.
Ramirez on his way to second. Head first slide. Safe and in to score is Jimenez. And another hustle double. Right over the bag at first. Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson. Ramirez went in with a head first slide. Hosey never gets upset about anything. They came up chewing. Anderson squared off. Hosey decked him.
That was fucking great.
It's weird because it goes from the Kentucky Derby into a boxing match. How his whole thing transpires is brilliant.
went
Let's do
right
it
to
again.
the-
It really is.
Down
the
goes
stretch
Frazier.
They come.
Down
it's
goes
so good.
Frazier.
That was so well
I'm
done.
telling you, it goes from horse racing to boxing like this.
So a little bit of the side story too, because he said he never gets mad. He had just gotten to the point. He's like, listen, I think Tim has fun with the game, and I'm not the you guys have heard enough takes from me in baseball. I'm not the no fun police. I like the way Tim Anderson plays the game. Now he obviously took a little offense and said, he's been, disrespecting the game a little too far. Well, apparently every time he comes and slides in there, Timmy just throws hard tags on him. So that was like the third or fourth time that he took a hard swipe at him, and he's like, all right, enough. That game polices itself. That's one of the brilliant aspects about baseball. In that moment, down goes Anderson, down. Well done, Guardian announcer. Well done.
Well, so let me ask you: was the last great on-field baseball fight before that? Was it Nolan Ryan and Ventura?
Well, the other one that was Rugi Odor and Batista, and that was that's when Rugi just clocked him. Now, in Batista's defense, he took a harder shot than Anderson took. And Batista he got clocked. He lost his glasses. He got posterized forevermore. But Anderson, that's going to follow you, bro. You in terms of Mike Tyson's
just retired.
In terms of Mike Tyson's punch out, you might be the first contestant, out. Glass Joe
is the first one out.
That was one star punch, bro. That was hold on. I'll get it.
Oh my God!
Here's the thing:
video games.
But now he's set. But now he's set because for years after he retires, there'll be photos that he'll be doing autograph sessions with Jose Ramirez at different events, and this will just follow him. And he'll do interviews about it on the anniversaries.
Look. Here's the. We're talking about fights. Name some really good ones. Obviously, is the most famous one. I was going to say Nolan Ryan and Ventura, but is it George Brett?
Well, hold on. So Nolan Ryan has to be the one that landed the most flush punches because he had Ventura in a headlock and just started litting his ass up.
He let Ventura
George
up.
Brett never actually swung.
No,
and hit
it's
anybody.
just
the restraint.
The motion.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got you.
All right, I'm back.
How about Pedro and Don Zimmer?
That was spectacular.
That was pretty good.
That was phenomenal.
That was pretty good. Just because there's an old man involved, and that's
A couple random facts too. I totally screwed that up, by the way, when I posted it online, and somebody corrected me. But Robin Ventura owns the record for most consecutive hits ever in college. He has the record for Oklahoma State, 58 games, 2 more than Joe DiMaggio's 56. Tim Anderson, he pressed the start button. I got an original NES controller. Mike Tyson's punch out ref. Yeah. He pressed that button. You got clocked, bro. Glass Joe. I tried to find my Mike Tyson punch out cartridge.
That was a long road, man. That was a long
road for that.
But that really was.
Yeah, control looks very small in your hands.
It does, right?
All right.
I was thinking the same thing. Is this a mini?
No, it's the regular one.
That's the real one, huh? Man,
Yeah, it's the
that
regular
play some
NES
Excite Bike.
Oh, I got that.
He's got that. Of course he does.
Of course he does. All right. So there was other baseball news.
Now see that one works.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
That was good. That was instant. You're like Excite Bike. I'm like, bro, I'm staring at it. It's right here.
So good.
And these all work. These all work.
He's going to play that after the show.
He will.
He absolutely will. All right. That wasn't the only baseball news.
No.
So this is insane. So as a fan of the American League East, I have enjoyed laughing at the Orioles for the better part of, since they last won the World Series, like in '83. I think they've won the division 3 times since then, or twice. This would be the 3rd time. The Angelos family has been the owner for a long time now, and have just cheapskates, and it's great because it's a team that doesn't compete in the American League East. But now when you suck this long and finally you get draft picks, it's the 76ers route. So now they're really good. Their announcer is this guy named Dave O'Brien, who is very highly thought of. Young kid, but he took over for them when they got rid of Gary Thorne because they didn't want to pay him money. So they're playing Tampa Bay at the Trop. They have been ass at the Trop for the last decade, right? 3-18 or whatever over the last last 2 seasons combined. They had their chance to win their very first series. The graphic is showing these stats. The announcer is reading the stats he's seeing on the graph. Play the thing.
It's been a minute. The Orioles split a 2-gamer with the Rays in June. They had lost their last 15 series here at Tropicana Field. You have to go back to when our now colleague Brad Brock picked up the win in the series finale, June 25th, 2017, the last time the Orioles won a series here at St. Pete. Already got 3-2 at the Trop this year after winning 3 of 18 the previous 3 years combined. It is a stark difference, Ben, and it is not a bad Rays team.
All right. First of all, everything I said before that, just forget that shit because I set it up poorly. So just play that audio. It'll just come out of that audio. All right, guys. So that audio is from the Baltimore Orioles. That guy that was just talking has been suspended indefinitely. Now he'll end up coming back, but he basically will be like a 2-week suspension. Can you tell me why?
I saw it online. I have no idea. I can't begin to explain what he did wrong. I really don't know. I thought I missed something. I thought, because we live in a culture too where he got suspended. So I'm listening to it. I'm waiting for some expletive to come out, some insensitive remark, some racial disparaging remark. I something. And it didn't happen. I'm like, what did I miss? And I listened to it again. And then again. And then again. I still can't tell you what he said wrong. He didn't say a single thing wrong. Not one.
Yeah. I've watched it at least 15 times.
Right?
And I can honestly tell you, it's the dumbest thing I've ever experienced in sports. You can't tell me a single thing he said. He wasn't even giving his opinion. He was literally just reading facts. Dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So he was suspended because the owner of the team, John Angelos, who's took over for his dad, Peter Angelos, a couple of years ago, didn't like that. I guess there's a thing he doesn't like it when the announcers or when anyone within the organization makes any reference to the fact that they sucked for the last 20 years. And so he was pissed that they were talking about the fact that they had been awful, even though it was in a good way. Hey, we're finally going to win a series. This is a good thing. We're one of the best teams in baseball right now. We're leading the division, and we're going to finally win a series at the Trop because we've been this fucking bad. And he didn't like it, so he suspended him.
Well, you guys would know. Pull me back behind this curtain because he's just reading the graphic. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure he's not the one who came up with the opening monologue. So why is he getting suspended? Why is he? I didn't make the graphic. I'm just reading what you're telling me to write.
He may have been the one guy you shouldn't have suspended.
Right.
Like you could have suspended the truck, the game producer. By the way, everything he read was in the media game notes for that game.
Correct.
They were in the printed media game notes delivered to the media.
Which Orioles PR does.
They made that
come
whole
up with
thing
those.
up.
They
Yep.
make that whole thing up within the organization.
Yeah. He's the one guy you probably shouldn't have suspended in the whole thing.
The blowback's been insane.
I mean, they've been hammered by other announcers, like mocking them on live television.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even win
their
right.
other games, literally mocking them.
Yeah,
That's
Gary
when
Cole
you
for the
lose.
Mets lit him up. Michael Kay lit him up.
That's when you're such a losing franchise for all those years. You just prove that they can't even win right. They don't even know how to win.
And that's why why you're a losing franchise.
Exactly. That's what you proved by winning. You're a loser.
Dipshits running your organization.
Well, I think what it proves is that they're having a great year this year, but this isn't the start of some sustained success because they're gonna fuck it up. Just the reality. But yeah, that was just absolutely nuts. All right, I got another piece of audio for you. This could be disturbing. So, some game show or talk show in France went around and found the oddest people with the oddest laughs. These are the most unique laughs that they have heard.
You're going to play this?
They brought them all into this talk show room.
I don't approve.
And they start laughing.
I don't want to do this.
What is that? What is what is that?
Someone's got dial-up internet.
Right? Oh,
Oh my goodness!
fucking insane.
I know a couple people with these laughs too. That's why I'm laughing.
The first
Like,
half of that, you got to play that again. The first half of that is tough to listen to.
He
And then it
just
gets
went.
funny.
He just went from no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Like,
I
the
need to
first
do
half
it
was
again.
hard, but it's really funny towards the end. Who's Peppa? Wait a minute. They had to match that up.
different. Each time you hear something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a bird at the end. There's a macaw at the end.
I was
Yeah,
just
you
gonna
hear
say
the-
I
you
heard
hear
a
the
crested macaw in there somewhere.
Sweet Odin's raven.
All right. Oh, I think that's a good one to end the show on. All right. As always, go Canes.
Yo! Bang.